Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the Racing Dudes live daily show covering the Preakness Stakes. Magic and Aaron Halterman here with you once again. And Aaron, kicking things off, I already love. We've got some bets in the chat. Chris Mallow, over under 2.5 patients that Dr. Tang treats during the live show. If you missed it on Monday when we were live covering the draw, waiting for it because they pushed it a half hour, he had 4 patients that he treated during the Preakness draw. So yeah, that's what Dr. Tang does. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I'm definitely going to go over. We'll stretch that out as long as we need to for Dr. Tang to go and visit the patients. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. You know, he's visiting cancer patients and not visiting, treating cancer patients and watching us and waiting for the Preakness draw. So he's a multitasker without any
And
doubt.
winning horse racing tournaments. It's not ours, but he wins all the other ones, which is nice.
He's so nice. He lets everybody win ours, and then he goes and wins all the other ones. So yeah, that was really cool to see on Sunday, him winning that big tournament.
Yeah, happy opening day for Canterbury Park. 10% take on a pick 5, early pick 4. Mike Somich and I, at some point this summer, are going to be covering Canterbury, probably more than once. Big fans of Canterbury and that low takeout. And there's a lot of great races starting today, Aaron.
Yeah, great 8-race card today. Like I said, the low takeout is excellent with Canterbury. Also, if you like night racing, it's at night, and so that's always fun to have it back on the docket for night. And the big thing, if you like turf racing, this is your track. This is one of the best turf courses in America. Believe it or not, it certainly is. And they always have, 2, 3, 4 races on the card that are turf races. So it's awesome. It's an awesome track. And like I said, with the low 10% takeout, it's right up everybody's alleys for a horse player. And yeah, you guys need to go out and support this track and show maybe other tracks, hint, that, hey, if we lower takeout, we'll actually make more money because more people will bet into our pools. So that's the hope. So go support Canterbury, no doubt.
Yeah, it's funny what happens if you do things that the customers like and they keep supporting it. Suddenly it's looking like a good thing. Aaron, we got the Preakness Stakes on Saturday. Let's dive into some talk here. Nothing really changing from yesterday, which is a good thing. No horses dropping out, no last-second AEs joining the party that we haven't really handicapped or thought about. So here we go, the field of 9, sitting here in front of you for the Preakness Stakes. We had a guest, and I'm so sorry, not a guest, but a commenter yesterday's show. I forgot your name, but had a great suggestion at the end about the trifecta. There's 4 horses here who are single digits: Epicenter 6-5, Early Voting 7-2, Secret Oath 9-2, Simplification 6-1. History says that obviously at least one of these horses can't make the trifecta, but 2 of them likely won't. So, Aaron, a fun discussion point here. If you were to look at the big 4, who misses the trifecta first, in your opinion, and why is that?
Yeah, it was a really good question. And the reason why I kind of brought it up is we were saying you've got to get one of these shorter prices out of the trifecta for it to pay. And obviously, prices aside, sure, the 4 horses that are the lowest odds, yeah, I would definitely think they're going to hit the trifecta, but you got to make a case to throw a couple of them out and get one of those bigger prices home, unless you're going to take a shot against Epicenter on top. Then, well, you can put somebody else on top, try to get Epicenter out of there, and it's a different story. So anyway, to answer the question, I really don't see Epicenter missing the top 3. So I would have to have him in there. Past that, with the other 3, to me, Early Voting has this shot to have a really nice pace advantage. And so I think I would throw him in there as well. And not that I don't like Simplification or the Filly Secret Oath, but I just think those are the 2 most likely ones not to hit the board. The Filly, yes, a grade 1 winner, but figure-wise, talking about speed figure-wise, just a tad slow, compared to the boys. Not for the Fillies at all. It's just a tad below. Certainly within the realm where she can win, but it's just a tad below. And we've seen her against boys, and I know it wasn't a great trip, but it's tougher. It's just simply tougher. You look at the Fillies that have beaten the boys in this race and other big-time races in this country, they were Hall of Fame type level horses. So if you think Secret Oath isn't that, then maybe you can keep her out. With Simplification, he's extremely consistent. And I think the hope with him is that he gets 4th, right? If you're going to take him out. Like, he is super, 3rd or 4th got, written all over him, right? So it's like, well, maybe he gets 4th and somebody might pass him a little bit late. He's another one. He's just a smidge low on the speed figure scale. And, he's running a lot of races just like Epicenter. And I've seen a lot of people going, well, Epicenter, he may be tired. Well, Simplification could too. So his inconsistency as far as where he's going to be in the race, maybe we can make a case that he gets fourth and you can sneak somebody else, like your horse, Skippy Longstopping, my horse, Creative Minister, somebody like that.
Thomas in the chat says Epicenter, Secret Oath, Ice Cold Exacta. I'm not putting your fix on there. You don't box 6 to 5 with Epicenter on there. That's it. To that point, I'm not making fun of you, Thomas. This is a good point. Epicenter, if you're going to play him, you can't box him, right? Unless you just box with a 20 to 1, and even then you could make arguments against.
So that's the other way to try this, right? Play it straight, whether it's an exacta or a try. So if you really love Epicenter, put him in first. Put Secret Oath in Thomas's case in second, and just straight. Don't box it. Just play it straight, and you can play it for like $20. So, and that's a way you could do it in a field like this, where you're going to probably have some short prices involved. The luxury of boxing a bet is out the window. You have to almost play it straight, and there's no almost. You have to play it straight. And even with the try, if you're going to put Epicenter on the top end, you kind of got to go 2 by 2 in the second and third spots at best, and maybe even single the second spot and put 2 horses in the third spot like that.
And a reason for that too, the boxing, you're giving equal weight from your betting dollars to either outcome. If you think there's an outside chance that Creative Minister can beat Epicenter, but you really think it's Epicenter over Creative Minister, say you've got a $10, put 8 of that on Epicenter over Creative Minister, and then put odds and everything, the way that the payouts will work, that $2 is still going to give you a very strong return on your exacta.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, if you bet an exacta box, Epicenter, Secret Oath, and it comes in Epicenter, Secret Oath, I mean, I'm not great at what that's going to pay, but it's probably going to be like $4 for $1. And so you would be better off just playing that thing straight. Sure, you may hit it, but you would be better off playing that thing straight. And if you think, if it's like, well, the value is going to be, hey, if Secret Oath wins, I'm going to get this amount. Just bet it straight then. Secret Oath over Epicenter, if that's what you're kind of boxing it for to kind of save yourself, and play it for double what you would have played the box for. And then if it does come in Secret Oath Epicenter, you're getting paid a hell of a lot more than if you box them to begin with. So yeah, you could weight them. And this is kind of the thing Nick said here. Mm-hmm. You could weight your bets a little bit. That would be another way to do it as well.
It's been fun if you're watching the screen here, and I don't know why you're not, because Secret Oath is on the screen. Yeah. And this isn't from Steve, but I thought it was just perfect. He was at Pimlico this morning. That's where this footage is from. Steve, if you see yourself, let us know. But yeah, Secret Oath just looking so great on the track out there, and you see all the cameras just watching. Well, now we're just watching D-Wayne. Did we forget about? We don't care about Secret Oath. Let's just watch the coach some more.
So this comment by Steve is really important. Okay, I'm being serious.
Yes.
In the Arkansas Derby, and I've said this before in our shows, I'll say it again because here's Secret Oath right now, and she does look beautiful. At the Arkansas Derby, she did not look that great. She just didn't. And look at this. She is beautiful.
I pulled us out of here. I don't even want to look at our faces.
I'm changing everything.
Steve, you're gone too. Sorry.
No, she looks great. But in the Arkansas Derby, she didn't look that good. She really didn't. 3, 4, 5 of those colts looked better than she did. And I'm not talking about the race. I'm talking about her just walking by in the paddock in post parade. The Kentucky Oaks, she looked freaking fantastic. It was night and day how much better she looked. And then right here on the track, again, we're not here live with our eyes. Steve was, and he can report, and he says she looks great. But look at this filly. She looks like she's thriving right now.
It's like watching. Sometimes people ask, "What do you look for?" And Aaron and I always say, "We're not experts, but people that have taught us." One thing that I know, Aaron, is she looks like she's on a trampoline a little bit when she's that bouncing or dancing. It's a horse who's happy, who's fit, who's excited about what's happening, likes being on the track. Like everything about what you're seeing are good signs. Now, a lot of the horses can look good and they got to put it on the track. But if you're a supporter of her like this, where she's shipped to Baltimore for the first time, she's never been this far east, and the heat's going to be pretty. I think it's supposed to be like 96 on Saturday, so she's going to have to adjust to the heat. But yeah, she looks like a picture on the track. That is really beautiful to look. I just got to keep watching her.
And I have listen, the ride in the Arkansas Derby, the trip, it was all really bad, right? Mm-hmm. I just have because I've watched her on the screen before the Arkansas Derby, and she looked great. She looked like a picture, right? Just like she's looking now. And I saw her in Arkansas, and I couldn't believe that was her. I was just like, that's not what I remember. And then you see her in Kentucky, it's like, oh, man, that's what I was expecting to see in Arkansas. I just have a suspicion. I have no idea. I have a suspicion she just didn't come out of the honeybee just real great. And maybe she wasn't 100% in that Arkansas Derby, physically. Now you look at it, and you look at her here, and you look at her like in the honeybee, the Martha Washington, the post parade, or the walk over the Kentucky Oak. She just looks like a monster. So I'm really encouraged by what I see here, and it's cool that Steve was able to chime in right when we were getting ready to talk about this, because trust me, this is real. She's really important. How she looks and how she runs, to me, has kind of been a big factor from just my eyes, because I've been there live in person the last 2 times she started.
Real quick before we move on, I want to thank everybody who's watching us. Give us a like on this video real quick if you can. We'd appreciate it. It gets the algorithm works out so where more people can end up seeing our live shows this way. But what I've got on screen here is from the Maryland Racing YouTube channel, and they've got almost all the contenders. They have videos of this stuff up. So we're not going to talk about everyone or show the video, but I really want to direct your attention there because they have a lot of great content. So aside from what the racing dudes have on their YouTube channel, Maryland Racing has been doing a great job. We had a question come up here recently from Katie Page. That's early voting on the screen, but Katie wants to know, do we think Asmussen is sending Epicenter because Epicenter's ready, or because Asmussen wants to alleviate the sting from the Derby?
I think because he's ready. I really do. I trust Asmussen fully in this spot. I've said it all week. His horses usually coming out of the Derby that go to the Preakness have showed up and run very well. And let's just look no further than last year. Midnight Bourbon, rest in peace, Midnight Bourbon, by the way. That's very sad. But anyway, he showed up in the Preakness after running decent in the Derby. Didn't hit the board, but was there with a shot. And really, if not for a freak performance by Ron Bauer, Midnight Bourbon would have won the Preakness last year of 2 weeks rest. I think Epicenter is better than Midnight Bourbon, especially right now at this point in the season. Of course, Midnight Bourbon really did improve as the year went on, but right now, Midnight Bourbon versus right now Epicenter at this point in the season, I think Epicenter's better. So I don't have a lot of worries about it. If it was a different trainer, or maybe a trainer even that we kind of saw in the past, didn't have the horse ready to run 2 weeks back, and they didn't show up very well, then maybe I'd be concerned. But with Asmussen, I'm not too concerned about it.
I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, I think great points, but someone like Asmussen, you saw, if you look back to how his previous horses, even before Midnight Bourbon, were campaigned, he knows how to handle these horses, and he's not going to just run this horse in the ground. He actually had a great comment, I think it was in DRF, about how this is his career starting. Like everybody's worried that with the way the breeding operation works now in the racing is that you get that Grade 1 win as a 3-year-old colt, that classic win, maybe we'll see you in the Breeders' Cup Classic, and then might be it. And Asmussen was saying, like, we're looking like 4-year-old season for this horse. We think he can be like a big-time horse and a big classic horse. So that, to me, says that they wouldn't put him in here to try and damage that if they didn't think it was worth it.
Well, and Steve Asmussen, when he says something like that, you've got the history, on his side of, yeah, that's probably true because of what he's done with so many of his horses that get better late in the 3-year-old and into the 4-year-old season. Look at Gunrunner. Gunrunner was not a bad 3-year-old whatsoever. He was solid. Gunrunner turned into an absolute monster horse of the year as a 4-year-old. And won the Breeders' Cup Classic, and then went on to win the Pegasus before retiring. So, yeah, Asmussen has a great track record. I think Midnight Bourbon was on that same path until tragically what happened to him. But he can do it with horses, and if he said that about Epicenter, number one, I think the Preakness, and then we're going to see him in the summer. I don't really know if he's going to the Belmont after a comment like that, but at the same time, the longevity in Asmussen with this horse in his hands is a really good thing.
Yeah, same exact connections that owned Gunrunner. And you see what happened with Gunrunner as a 4 and then wins the Pegasus to end his career at age 5. It could be a lot worse things that happened to. Boy, that was a short video about Creative Minister. Let's put that back.
I like how there's a wrestling video as a suggestion for you.
So I'm on your account. This isn't even my account. I'm watching from your account. So you can't even blame me for this one.
Well, that makes total sense then.
Truth Exposed brought up, was talking about creative minister and says, there's Mr. Beefcakes. Truth Exposed likes the way his shoulders roll in the stretch. It's impressive. Aaron, you did a deep dive on creative minister that if you want to see, it's on our YouTube channel. But what did you think about creative minister?
Yeah, once you do that deep dive, you do kind of start to like him a little bit more. And then certainly the 2 turns has just been fantastic for creative minister. He's kind of become a new horse. And look at him in the shed row too. This is a horse that ran 2 weeks ago, but he doesn't look any worse for wear, does he? He looks just fine. Throw that up one more time, Magic. Come on, give the people what they want.
Maryland, and then just short clips
there
for
he is.
creative
Look
minister.
at him. He's drinking that water. He doesn't care that he ran 2 weeks ago. He's ready to go again. He's or drinking or eating, whatever he's doing there. But anyway, he is a beautiful horse. And that was the thing when you watch the replays of this horse. You know, I've watched him live on like watching the race, not live and in person twice. But you know, watch the one during the race. You think, oh, he won, and that's great. But you watch his replays. He's a really nice mover, kind of a big, long striding horse, nice moving horse. Yeah, listen, that's why I like him to finish third. I think he's the one that can get up there. And like I said, we know he's in fantastic form. It's just holding it together for 2 more weeks, and he should be able to do it.
Another horse that's you see here on the screen walking the shed row just arrived. This is Armagnac, and not maybe, but there is a lot of people who like Truth Exposed, loving Embry, loving creative minister. Not so much love for Armagnac, as Truth Exposed says. Armagnac wants to frown, pouts if a jock holds him back. Yeah, this seems like a kind of a cheap speed horse, Aaron, that maybe as far as the pace goes, could really ruin things for early voting if you like him on top.
He's interesting because every race, every stakes race he's entered, that's what they've said. He's going to go. He's going to go. He's going to go bother horses up front. And he never really does it. Now, his last race was good. Definitely the best. And look at him. He's ready. Look at him. He's excited. But his last race was really good, I thought. And maybe that showed them just send as hard as you can with this horse and hope to get him out in front and he won't stop. I think he's more of a pace player than an actual player to stick around and win the race. But I do think this horse is going to play a factor in the race if they send him like that. So he's another one. They've always thought he's, you know, he was a really good horse. They've been high on him. So, you know, I mean, horses at this time of year, they kind of come on. We'll see. I don't love him, but I do think after that last race, he at least showed, hey, he's not horrible. He's got a shot to come in here and play around with the pace. And who knows, maybe he gets brave and holds on longer than we think.
Dennis asks, does it concern you if Armagnac, if him not going out from the long ship from California, if he doesn't show up at all?
No, not really. What concerns me the most is when he's been in stakes races, even in California, he hasn't shown up at all. So yeah. I think for my big thing, it's like, it's not the ship as much as did the horse kind of wake up and did they kind of say, look, just send him after that last race. And if he didn't, well, you're going to just kind of see the same thing he's been doing. He'll get out there. He's a speed horse. That'll be like third and then he'll drop to last. You know, that's what we've seen from him in Stakes Company. And if you like him or you think he's going to play factor in the race, you just have to hope he's kind of grown up a little bit.
Switching the video over to Simplification. He's a goofy, having fun with his tongue hanging out. A real strong, consistent runner, but this is going to be a fun video. And I know this one's at least a few minutes long, so I have to keep switching it up. There have been some questions. This is going to be our last big question here, Aaron. The weather nerd questions are coming in. It's supposed to be, like I mentioned, pretty warm on Saturday. Sunny. As of right now, the forecast doesn't say rain until Sunday, which is great. But we're being asked about the heat and how it could affect horses. Aaron, I don't have any information on any of these horses for how they handle the heat. I don't know if even the trainers know some of this, but in your much more experienced opinion, what do you think about the heat?
It could affect every horse, but I have no way of knowing who it's going to affect and who it's not. Neither does anybody else. Yeah. But yeah, a hot day is not ideal for horses. You know, they like cooler weather for sure. Like the Derby day was pretty good. I think it was like 65, 70 degrees. I mean, that's still a tad hot for horses, but it's not going to bother many of them. But yeah, I mean, it could bother them. There's no doubt. There's no sense in worrying about it from a handicapping perspective because you can't predict which ones it's going to bother and which ones it's not. Things you might watch for as you're watching, you know, Are they sweaty? Are they washy in the post
Yep.
parade? Other than Shackelford, usually they don't run very well when they're washy, and you'll be able to see that on the post parade. So my best thing to tell you about the weather is don't even think a thing about it as you're handicapping these races, but keep your eyes open, watch the screens, and if one looks washy and sweaty, they're probably not going to run very well.
It's a great point. Yeah, watch the horses in the post parade. As far as your multi-race wagers, you just guess. You know what it is there, and it's the Lasix thing. I felt kind of got I got too deep into it with trying to figure out horses on off Lasix and guessing if a horse would run well or not. So yeah, don't even let it affect your handicapping. Let it affect how you handle yourself at the track if you're there. Definitely, and yeah, there'll be lots of Remy flowing if Armagnac wins. There, Simplification is a horse that trained in Florida for a while. You would think maybe the humidity from there would help him, but yeah, it's hard. Yeah, that's what Dennis was about to say. That's pretty great. Don't they pre-wet horses in the heat? They do. What Aaron's talking about is when they get washy or sweat, it's white and foamy. Like it looks like there's like foam lines on the horse.
And if one comes to the paddock and they're soaked, that means they're probably having trouble with the heat anyway. To start with, like I remember it was Pennsylvania Derby Day, and for some damn reason I was there. And Improbable came to the paddock, and he was soaked, and he was just having all kinds of trouble. He was hot, he was all worked up, and he ran like dog shit.
Like fourth, I think, right?
Huh? Yeah, he was fourth. He broke like an idiot, and then he it's not neck between their legs. Yeah.
Dennis is the perfect person to ask. Yeah, I was at Churchill Downs watching those sweaty horses all the time.
But again, to the question about don't they wet down the horses? I mean, no, not all of them. If they're not having any trouble with it, they're not going to do that. So, but if they see them getting hot before a race and if they come to the paddock and they're soaking wet, it's a sign that they're not handling it very well.
Yeah. No froth. Nope.
I don't even know what that means. So.
No
frothy nuts. Oh,
no froth. Yeah, I didn't notice this, but as things, I wasn't paying attention to Taba at that point. But was he starting to foam up between the legs?
Yes, he was. Okay. He was. They put him on the screen, and I saw that as well. He was definitely bothered. The Taba that showed up at the Derby, who knows if Taba would have ever been good enough to win that day, but he did not show up with any kind of effort whatsoever. So.
Well, you know who did show up with effort, Aaron? You, when you put together the Racing Dudes Inside Track to the Preakness Stakes Wagering Guide. It's available for pre-sale right now. How far along is it coming? I know the live bankroll article, you're working on that with Jared.
Yeah, I get Jared. When he lets me know that he's ready, we will finish that part up, and it'll be done. Everything else is done on it. Well, Jared's got to put banners and stuff on it as well, so I shouldn't say everything. And then we got the picks matrix of the graph too. So a few things. That's what's left. But yeah, we're almost done with it. Once Jared lets me know, we'll finish that all up. And I would say tomorrow it'll be out probably. It's kind of out of my hands now as far as when it gets done. But my prediction is tomorrow morning. Yeah, it should. The full version should be available.
You can do the pre-sale right now. If you are a premium member, you get this for free, so it's included with your membership. So it's going to be in your dashboard pretty soon. Shadi, better luck. I know that you were having some trouble earlier with a couple races. Or no, was that yesterday? Yesterday she was having trouble. Today is a better day so far, Shadi. So keep things going for the premium membership. You can see here on our homepage plenty of previews. We're doing in-depth analysis of all 9 Preakness Stakes contenders. Those are coming out throughout today, and then also just finished recording the Black-Eyed Susan Stakes preview with Dr. Miranda. 13 fillies, and for her sake, none of them Secret Oath. She was pretty happy about that. She didn't have to worry about handicapping Secret Oath and D. Wayne Lucas's training methods. So that will be up on our YouTube channel pretty shortly as well. Aaron, anything else you want to talk about, or you want to cut it short?
Well, did we have a video of Epicenter? I didn't see one.
He was the first one, yeah.
Put him back up there. I wasn't even looking at him. Let's put him back up there. You're like, geez, I just hit exit on that.
Yeah, you need me to. I'm not going to complain about that.
Well, I wasn't paying any attention. You'd asked me a really important question. I wanted to see what he looked like. We posted a picture of him on Twitter, and he looked pretty awesome.
Yep.
Coming out of the van, but I hadn't seen him on the track yet.
Yeah, there he is. He looks like
he
just looks like a stallion ad every time that I see him. I'm like, oh, he's so good looking.
Well, you think about his breeding, and he probably is going to be a very valuable stallion, kind of the first big, not this time colt, or at least one of the first big ones. So, yeah, he looks fine. He looks full energy there, I guess.
The Scott Blasey, assistant trainer with him.
Yeah, Scott Blasey is very, very high on this horse. Of course, I mean, he's going to be high on any horse that's a 6-5 favorite to win a Grade 1 Classic, so. That's kind of a stupid comment for me to say, but yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks very good. By the way, if you are a new premium member, yes, the guides are free with your subscription. Just scroll down past all the picks. There'll be a racing guides section, and you can download it there. Like I said, probably tomorrow this time you'll be able to download the full version.
Actually, if you want, I'll pull that up and show you how that works real quick here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I just made sure I was logged in. Oh,
right. I know we got some new subscribers, so it's easy to kind of find it.
So here is the dashboard. If you log in, these are the races. Mile and a quarter race to start Belmont. God bless. There's a filly racing in the Black Eyed Susan Stakes who broke her maiden going a mile and a quarter at Churchill on the dirt, and I was like, what? That happened. That was a thing. That was a thing that happened. So, we'll scroll down here. Actually, I'll show you what. If you go to the very top, you don't have to scroll past the picks. There's Somobomb's wagering calculator. You click on racing guides. So this right here, if you click on this right now, this is just going to be the sample. It's the cover and then the intro page. But the inside track to the Derby is there. That's available as all of the previous ones are available here. So that's where you'd find it if you are a subscriber. So. Yeah. If you're logged in, this is what's going to look like. But then you can click on View All Racing Guides, and everything will just be right here. If you want to go back and see how it did in the Bluegrass with the Florida Derby, did pretty good there as well. So those are those picks. Aaron, we got 2 days till the Black Eyed Susan Stakes. That is Friday at Pimlico, so that'll be fun. We'll do some coverage for that. And then we also have, of course, the Preakness Stakes. We'll be live doing coverage of probably most of the day on Preakness Stakes Day. Lots of people coming in and out, but I won't be alone. I won't be alone for 7 hours. It'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. My throat will thank you on Sunday. That is the weirdest thing I've said to you all morning. All right, let's get out of here. Here we go.
Time to go.
Guesses for post time price for Epicenter. If you say 6 to 9, I'm leaving right now.
4 to 5.
Yeah, I'd say about 4 to 5. On that one. Quick, any thoughts of Brad Cox? That was a race almost literally a year ago. My thought is, why is it a year later we're doing this?
Let's see. Let me articulate what I'm going to say here. It's not surprising. Horse racing is the worst. The Stephen Foster was so long ago. I was like, who the hell did he even have in the Stephen Foster?
11 months ago, right? Isn't that like a late June race usually at Churchill?
Yeah. It was Warriors Charge, and he finished second to Maxfield. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's unbelievable. And not only that, think about this for a second. We had no idea the horse tested positive until 11 months after, right? We didn't have any clue. Well, wouldn't that be valuable information to have for a handicapper on Warriors Charge? Like, maybe you don't suspend him for 11 months. Well, again, that's just absolutely asinine that it takes 11 months. But wouldn't it have been nice to know, well, Warriors Charge, who sucked most of last year until that race, got second in that race, got an overage. Well, why did he run second? Maybe because he had an overage. Well, wouldn't that be nice to know for all of his other races? Well, maybe he won't run quite as well today because he had a drug violation last time he started. But no, it's crazy.
I will say, not that I wasn't surprised, but like Dennis said, I wasn't surprised when I heard what it was. That it was an overage of clenbuterol. Like it's something, yeah. Whether you can argue, that's a different topic, whether or not it was a stupid overage or classes and all that stuff. Yeah, the testing thing is pretty ridiculous. But you know what, Aaron? It's okay. The Preakness Stakes is on Saturday. Brad Cox doesn't have a horse in there that we're worried about, right?
I mean, to me, though, I always worry about the bettors. That's how I look at all this. And to not know the last 11 months that overage happened, that's only hurting the bettors. I mean, you as a bettor, you want all the information that's possibly could be out there. Well, that was out there, just nobody cared to share it. And to me, that's just embarrassing for horse racing. And that's, we talked about, Triple Crown and should change or not change, and everybody's very opinionated on it. That's like the 38th problem in horse racing down the line. Like that is something that doesn't even scratch the surface of what is really wrong with horse racing. And it's crazy. It's crazy that went 11 months and nobody knew about it.
Our Stephanie brings up a great point that Brad Cox is the local, and you've got Bob Baffert, who's pissing people off in every state, and trying to make an example of him. So, the Baffert thing got leaked. Minutes after?
Yeah,
like Baffert didn't even know before the rest of us knew.
And listen, they're both wrong for what's happened, right? But I get people that support Bob Baffert they're sitting there saying like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
like
we're not rushing to Baffert's aid.
Get a week? And why did we let him choose the week that he got? Like it's the 23rd through the June 1st or something like, or 4th or one. It was 10 days, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, like. We just said, well, here's a time where you're not going to run a lot of stakes horses. So
this is a good point, Chris. Clear that CDI didn't want a suspension. It's the guy who got elevated to first in the Derby because of a suspended trainer.
And again,
different race, but still.
I don't want to go down this road. I really don't. But Jared and I are walking out of Churchill that day before we knew anything. And they go, okay, well, Baffert got first. Cox was second. O'Neill was third. Cox was fourth. What was that? Was it Obesos that got fifth?
Yeah.
And we're kind of looking like, is that the real Derby winner? And we've always laughed at all the people. It's like, I cashed on Mandaloon and this Bob Baffert guy. It's like, oh yeah, the Cox horse. Yeah, that's you bet. Okay.
Or the Doug O'Neill horse.
Oh, you got third Cox with Doug O'Neill, who by the way, couldn't be listed as the trainer for Hot Rod Charlie the race before the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, I forgot about that. The Louisiana Derby. It was Landon.
Yeah, he couldn't even be the trainer of name, and then Cox got fourth. Okay, yeah.
Or for Golden Cents.
Good story. Good story. Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of people that support Baffert, and I've kind of just come to terms that it is what it is. I don't have an opinion one way or another on him, but the main thing is the argument that is really strong is Baffert's not even close to the worst one out there. So, I mean, anyway, let's move on.
Well, I had nothing else. I was wrapping up the show, and then you went down there.
Well, these damn commenters asked me about it.
It's all of you watching us. How dare you? How dare you comment as we ask you to comment literally in the banner that's going down below us?
I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. I'm on Twitter yesterday. I'm scrolling. Yeah. And that comes up, Brad Cox, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. And that's all I thought of it. It's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's
Didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it again.
You know what? Hey, we're going to have a good time. If nothing else, we're going to have a good time the rest of the day because we got Dynamite tonight.
Hey, listen, I'm having a good time now. I don't want this show to end. Let's just keep it going.
Listen, leave them wanting more, Aaron. We'll be back tomorrow on Thursday, May 19th at noon Central. So set your clocks, Shoddy. Make sure you tune in. We'll be here talking more updates. Jared might join us. Hopefully, Mike Somich will be feeling better. We miss you, buddy. Send your thoughts to Mike. He's still under the weather a little bit, but hopefully he'll join us soon. What's that?
He was close today. He was close.
He was close. So you know what? He was close like Dr. Tang is close in our horse racing tournament. That's how that was, yeah. Also, by the way, we had I totally forgot about this, but Aaron had a young guy on, Stephane Perot, who is a college hockey player, D3 player, and they previewed all the NHL series, the second round of the NHL series. So that's at our channel right now too. So go to youtube.com/racingdudes. The previews for that are up. Great conversations, a lot of fun. Listening to you two guys talk about hockey, and we won't talk about the game that ended last night, but we will end things here saying, tune in tomorrow for Aaron. I am Magic. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.